Good morning. I'm Peter Milios from the Finance News Network. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rose on Thursday as stocks recover from a dismal day for the major averages after the Federal Reserve held steady on rates but signalled that a March cut is unlikely. The 30-stock Dow added 370 points, or 0.97%, while the S&P 500 added 1.25%. The Nasdaq Composite gained 1.3%. Ahead of the opening of the US markets, pharmaceutical company Merck turned in a fourth quarter beat, which helped prop up the Dow as its shares climbed more than 4%. Wall Street is coming off a poor session. The Dow fell 317 points, or 0.8%, posting its worst day since December. The S&P 500 slid 1.6% on Wednesday in its worst day since September, and the Nasdaq Composite lost 2.2%, its worst session since October. Those losses come after Fed Chair Jerome Powell, in his post-meeting conference, discouraged investor hopes for a rate cut as soon as March, sending equities tumbling. Bond yields slumped further, with the 10-year Treasury pulling back to a one-month low. The benchmark was last 10 basis points lower at 3.86%. In commodity-related news, executives from some of the top silver producers are pushing for the inclusion of the metal to the critical minerals list in Canada and the US. CEOs from 19 miners stated that this would position Canada as a supplier of choice for strategic allies, as per a letter sent to the Canadian Minister of Energy and Natural Resources. Turning to US sectors, all closed higher overnight except for energy. Consumer discretionary was the best performer. Investors will now turn their attention to the first jobs report of the year due out on Friday morning. After the bell, Meta, Amazon and Apple reported results. As a result, Meta's shares jumped over 10% in after-hours trading on strong Q4 results, including its first ever dividend of 50 cents per share and solid user numbers surpassing expectations. The company also announced a $50 billion share buyback program. Amazon's Q4 results outperformed expectations, with earnings of $1 per share and revenue of $170 billion, driving a more than 3% increase in the stock's value during extended trading. Key highlights include $24.2 billion in Amazon Web Services revenue and $14.2 billion in advertising revenue. Apple exceeded revenue and earnings estimates in the fiscal first quarter report with $119.58 billion in revenue, but it saw a 13% decline in Chinese sales. Strong iPhone sales at $69.7 billion and an 11% growth in services businesses were highlights, while iPad sales fell 25% and wearables business declined by 11%. Looking ahead to the Australian landscape, the SPI futures are pointing to a 0.4% gain. Thank you for listening.